So if we start just by grounding and centering ourselves, if you close your eyes, take one hand and place it on your heart and place the other hand on your stomach, and we're just going to do some ujjayi breathing, which is breathing that sounds like the ocean. So as you inhale, feel the ribcage rise, and as you exhale, feel the abdomen pull in. And we're just going to go through a few rounds of breath. And as you breathe in, just focus on how your body is feeling today. Try and set an intention for your practice and leave everything else that's going on in your life outside of the mat. This is time for you. I'm going to warm up for the practice with some head rolls. If you take the chin to the chest and then start to slowly move your head up, the neck back and around to the left, back down to the chin. You may hear some cracking, and that's perfectly normal. And now we're going to reverse the circle, so take the head to the left, up, past, back and around, and just repeat that circle a few more times. And now you're going to take your right hand and place it on the top of the head, and then slowly pull your head towards the right shoulder and bring the left shoulder down, and notice the stretch in your neck and shoulders. And breathe. And then when you're ready, we're going to reverse that. So take the left hand, place it on the head, and pull the head slowly over to the right hand side. Bring the right shoulder down and away from the ears. And place your hands on your shoulders, and we're going to do some shoulder rolls. So take the elbows up past the ears, back, down and around, making big circles with the elbows. This should feel really good between the shoulder blades, stretching out the shoulders and the back of the spine. And when you're ready, rotate the arms in the opposite direction, so take the elbows up, back past the ears and back down. And take your hands down to the side, and we're just going to do a few mountain poses. So as you inhale, lift the arms up past the shoulders, above the head, look up, stretch up. Notice the stretch along the spine. Try and lift the crown to the ceiling. Exhale, bring the hands down to the sides. And we'll continue. Inhale, reach up, stretch up. The palms should be facing each other. Exhale, bring the hands down, back down to the sides. Inhale. And exhale. And then when you're ready, we're going to come down onto the mat. And we're going to start with some seated spinal twists. So if you sit in a comfortable position with your legs crossed, if that's comfortable for you. And then we will take the left hand and place it behind us and put the right hand on the left knee, and then on the inhale try and sit up straight, bring the crown to the ceiling, and on the exhale turn towards the back of the room. Inhale to come out of the stretch. Exhale, turn your head over the left shoulder, look behind you. Inhale to come out of the stretch, and then on this repetition we're going to hold the pose. So inhale and exhale as you deepen the stretch. And now breathe. Inhale, lift the right arm and bring it back down to the side. And this is a great pose for toning the abdomen organs and stimulating the abdomen and removing toxins and helping to get everything moving as it should be. So now we'll repeat that on the other side. So lift the left arm, reach up, stretch up, and as you exhale, place the arm onto the right knee and put the right arm behind and turn and look over the right shoulder. Inhale, turn back central, and exhale, look over the right shoulder. Try and keep the crown up to the ceiling, and inhale to come out. And then we're going to hold the pose for 3 rounds of breath. So inhale to prepare, and exhale into the pose. And on every exhale, try to deepen the stretch and turn more towards the back of the room. Hello, lady. And inhale to come out. Sorry, lady likes to get involved in the yoga, don't you? And now we're gonna move into cat-cow. So if you get into an all-four position on the floor, so your hands should be shoulder width apart and your knees should be hip width apart. Your fingers splayed open on the mat. And then as you inhale, bring the chest down, lift the head, bring the shoulders down from the ears. And then as you exhale, curl the spine up. And you may notice the stretch between your shoulders and along the spine. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the head, open the chest and look towards the ceiling. And exhale, round the back and shoulders. Inhale and exhale. If it feels good for you, sometimes people like to take a little bit of a wider movement in this pose. So bring the hips to the side, down and around and forward, and just try a few circles. It can feel really good at the top of the back between the shoulders. And then from here we're going to move into downward dog. So from the same starting position, if you push your buttocks and hips up towards the sky, bring the heels down towards the floor, strengthen. You may notice the elongation of the spine. Try to bring the chest towards the floor and stay here for a few rounds of breath. If the pose is feeling strong and you need to take a break, you can gently just bring your knees back down to the mat and take a couple of breaths, and then when you're ready, push back up into downward dog. And then gently come back down to the mat. And from here we're going to move into wind relieving pose. So I invite you to join me lying down on the mat and starting position with your knees up and your feet hip width apart. And then on the inhale, bring the knees in and up. And then inhale, stretch the feet out. And exhale, bring the feet and the knees back down. Inhale and exhale. You can pull the knees in towards the chair. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then slowly come back up to sitting. And now we're going to move onto our front and do some back bends. So we're going to start with locust pose. So if you lie face down on the mat with your hands shoulder width apart, your feet should be together. And then if you take your hands and bring them underneath your thighs, and your forehead should be pressed down on the mat. And then inhale to prepare, and then on the exhale, bring your legs up off the floor behind you. And inhale, put them down on the mat so your feet and legs should be together. Your hands are pressed in against the floor. Exhale, lift up, your pelvis is still on the floor. So it's just your legs that are lifting up off the mat. And inhale to come out of the pose. And now we're going to hold this for 3 rounds of breath. So inhale to prepare and exhale. Lift the legs and breathe. And inhale to come out of the pose. And now we're going to move into cobra. So your hands should be shoulder width apart, in line with your shoulders, so you can check by just rolling from side to side. Okay, and then as we inhale, push the chest up, lift the head, straighten the arms, keep the pelvis on the floor, and then exhale. Bend the elbows, come back down to the mat. Inhale, lift up, lift the sternum, lift the gaze up towards the ceiling, and exhale to come out with a pose. Inhale to come up, and we're going to hold the pose for a few rounds of breath. Try to bring the shoulders down, away from the ears. Open the chest, lift the sternum. And then exhale to come down to the mat. If you need to, you can place your hands in front of the head, place the forehead on the hands and just rest here for a few seconds and let your body recover from those strong poses. And from here we're going to move into bow pose. So lift your feet off of the mat, and then take your hands and bring your hands behind you and grab hold of your ankles, so you've got the outside of your ankles. Inhale to prepare, and then on the exhale, lift the legs and lift the body. Push the legs against the hands. And inhale to come down. Exhale. to drop the legs and drop the head back to the floor. And from here we're going to move into child's pose. So push up back onto all fours and then take the head down, forehead down to the floor with the arms beside the feet. And just stay here and rest. It's a really good restorative pose. And then slowly come back up off of the mat and turn around. Okay. And then we're going to finish the practice with forward fold. So your legs should be out straight in front of you. And then take your hands and just lift up and shift your buttocks back slightly to make sure that the sit bones are in line. Sit up straight, lift the crown up towards the ceiling, bring the shoulders away from the ears, and then inhale, take the arms up above the head, reach up, stretch up, and exhale, lean forward over the feet, taking your hands as far down towards your toes as you can. It may be that your hands are on your toes, or your hands are here, or your hands are there, just wherever feels good for you and comfortable for you. Inhale to come up and exhale to lean into the stretch. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And now we're going to hold the pose for 3 rounds of breath. With every exhale, try and deepen and relax further into the stretch. And then when you're ready, slowly start to unroll and to come out of the position. And now we're going to lie down into Shavasana. So lie down on your back with your palms up towards the ceiling and let your feet fall out to the side. And just allow your breathing to return to its natural rhythm. Just enjoy how your body feels. And then when you're ready, slowly move and turn onto the right side of your body, with your head rested on your arms. And then slowly come out of the pose and return to your sitting position. your arms crossed and your palms up, reach to the sky. And just carry on breathing, and just let us seal the practice and feel the benefits of the practice. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Thank you for practicing with me today. I hope you found